What kind of dances were going on? What was in during that time?
So around that time, I was doing a little every little step I take, Bobby Brown little dance
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
South Side Kiki,
yes,
along with the H Town just little bop. So it was
yeah.
just a mix of everything. I was all over the place.
But you was in your bag though, is all that matters.
I was musty, sweaty, and I looked like a damn dope fiend. What up, fam? You already know basketball season is my favorite time of the year, and the second half of the season is not to be missed. Watching the games at home is chill and all, but actually being at the games is where it's at. Nothing like being at a game in person. I know I'm going to use the Game Time app for last minute tickets to the Hawks or a concert here in Atlanta. When you buy tickets from Game Time, you can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect. That's what I love about the app. And Game Time Guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you can find tickets in the same row or section for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code SMOKE for $20 off your first purchase. That's code SMOKE for $20 off. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. What's up, Hoots fans? Want to know what's better than the NBA season? Winning some cash money. The second half of the NBA season is starting to heat up, and it's time for you to get in on all the action for a shot at huge cash prizes. That's why we teamed up with DraftKings, who have a brand new way to play daily fantasy sports with Pick 6. Right now, all new customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits after playing $5 in the first pick set. Track your lineup and compete against others for a shot at winning cash prizes. Getting started is simple. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use promo code SMOKE. That's code SMOKE only at DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Welcome back to Unplugged. Jack, what's good?
What's up, my brother? How you doing out there on the west side?
Man, you already know. Just got fresh out the gym. Ready to knock this out, so I go take a shower. We had a good run last week with Gilly. That's our guy. Burnt out, but
Super
love him.
burnt.
We're gonna start doing that more often, having people come through, chop it up with us throughout the show. So make sure you guys stay locked in with that. Jack, you got a big weekend coming up. Oak Hill, the Hall of Fame, first and foremost. Congratulations. A lot of other names will be up there and inducted with you. Talk to us about that experience and how it came about.
Thanks, bro. It means a lot. For me, this really something that I wanted, Matt. Oak Hill is one of the most prestigious high schools, and a lot of stuff that I did, mistakes that I made, overshadowed a lot of the great basketball that I played. So to be acknowledged by Oak Hill, to get my jersey retired, it means everything to me. With guys like KD, Rondo, Ty Lawson, Steve Blake, it's a number of guys, Jeff McGinnis. So I'm just honored to be get my jersey retired by such a prestigious school and honorable coach.
Well deserved, bro. So I mean that goes along with obviously that'll probably jump because you got your jersey retired in a couple of strip clubs, I know. So this will jump that. I'm assuming.
No question. My jerseys that's retired in the 3 strip clubs. Just get it right.
Yeah.
There's 3 strip clubs that my jersey
Yes,
retired
sir.
in.
Talk to him.
Those are gonna come down out the rafters, and the Oak Hill one is definitely going up.
There you go. Well, good luck, man. I'm sorry I won't be able to make it out to that. We got some stuff going on here in LA, but bro, I'll be there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be out there that weekend too.
I mean, this is just the warm up. We really gonna do it, so don't worry about it. We'll hold it down, and I'm sure you're gonna hold it down. Jack, great interview with Pat McAfee during All Star. Said we took edibles, we took Mike Tyson ears with him. Dropped a lot of game. Told us about his story, about his journey. Someone you already knew. You guys got a great history. So that's going to be a dope interview. That's dropping this Thursday.
A lot of these older sports media folks aren't the biggest fan of me, and they've certainly made that known.
Yeah,
and
we've had.
Well, you know why, right? Because a lot of them wanted to do what you're doing now on ESPN.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to. Is what they
weren't
said.
allowed to.
You think I was allowed to though? Like that's the whole part of it.
You had I ain't gonna say balls. You had the confidence in yourself to be able to get it done without worrying about what other people are gonna say. I think it didn't happen for them because they came in more like, well, I want to do this. You said, I'm doing this. Instead, I want to do this. That's a big difference.
Hey, I'm a fucking asshole to those suits too. Like, they do not like me. Like,
you got to be.
Hey, it is, because when I retired, I had like I mean, Stak, you knew this because you knew I existed then. Not a lot of people outside of Indiana did. When I retired, I had like 750,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
I'd done like 27 stand-up comedy shows in theaters with like
They didn't know
6,000
that.
seats. And I'd
Stand-up
gone on
comedy.
like a tour,
Funny, too.
had a podcast, had a merch store, had a chance to do Bob and Tom, which is here in Indianapolis. So like I got a chance to kind of understand the broadcasting waves. ESPN said, we got nothing for you. Fox said, we got nothing for you. CBS said, we got nothing for you. We don't want to hear a punter who's been arrested that swears, who's an internet guy.
I love that guy.
On our
My kind of guy.
That's what the suits, though, did not say that.
Right.
So, like, had to go through the Barstool route, but we kept our own company in Indiana, learned a lot about the internet through them. That was like a university of how digital works. So then as I kind of realized, and our boys, we kind of realized, like, we can do this ourselves. We don't need them. And then now we're coming back to the point where I'm negotiating with like Amazon. I'm negotiating with NBC. I'm negotiating with Apple. I'm negotiating with ESPN. It's like all those same middle management people 5 years ago, 6 years ago said, we got nothing for you. And it's like, I remember that.
Big shout out to Ryan Clark, Jack, friend of the program. He read up with ESPN, used his leverage, went public on social media talking about he was a free agent, and they made it work. And I think these bigger networks and companies are understanding, like, they don't have the leverage they used to have. Like, people can run off and do their own thing. You know what I mean? And I definitely think they got this right. Ryan Clark not only is a great dude, but one of the best in the business. The way he breaks it down, the way he dresses. He might be the best dresser in the game. But shout out our brother Ryan Clark.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the faces of ESPN. So whatever he got, he definitely deserved it and more.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Jack, I got a chance to check out JuJu Watkins in person the other night.
Is she the truth?
Oh, she's unbelievable, dog. And she plays on both ends. But I was telling Jelani before we started, like, bro, she gets in her little triple threat, breaks them down, and gets one or two dribbles and with two people in her face off the glass, or gets cut off on the baseline and does that Kobe reverse pivot fade. Like, and she's only 18. I was blown away at just her poise, the way she shot the ball. She was like 19 for 19 from the free throw line. Like, she's just on another level, bro. So we will hopefully have some good things cooking up with her soon. But shout out JuJu, man. It was a great opportunity. And it kind of leads me into my next point. And we talked about it last week or the week before. Women's college basketball is bigger than men's college basketball right now. It has more stars, more recognizable faces. The Final Four gets higher ratings. Let's break that down and why. What's that shift been and why?
Well, for me, I think it's shifted because the women are getting more talented. You know, the women basketball players are way more talented, and they're getting better and better by the year. Players like Caitlin Clark, like the way she's scoring, the way she's shooting, like she has a lot of stuff that you can't teach in the game, along with that unbelievable confidence. And JuJu is the same thing. You know, JuJu just have more stuff off the ball. She's more of a complete player. So I like all these girls. I'm a big fan of Raven at South Carolina and Don Staley and what they're doing at South Carolina too. So I just think for us, man, we're seeing the talent on the women's side go up to a high level. They dunking and all that stuff now. So it's way more entertaining than watching some of these guys, you know, who's going to be in college 2-3 years that we know that's going to play at the next level.
Yeah. You also forgot about Angel Reese. She's a monster putting up
Angel Reese. Yes. Paige buckets.
Shit. Yeah. Out here talking shit. Paige Becker. Yeah. It just kind of is what it is. And Jack, I think the reason is on the men's side, there's so many more outlets. You can go play overseas. You can go to the G League Unite. You can, you know, there's more avenues to swim. So college isn't getting the top players all the time like they used to. And that's why I think, you know, more than ever that the Cinderella team, the upsets, you see not off-brand schools, because you got to respect everyone, but you'll see a school in the Final Four you wouldn't expect, because now it's more about chemistry in college than individual stars. I know, although Kentucky, there are teams that have stars, that's not the norm for the men's game like it used to be. So there are just more stars. I mean, I think this was probably Kobe's vision when Kobe, you know, what Kobe saw when he was, you know, really advocating for this the women's game and getting Gigi out there and you know, he said she brought that passion back out, but they were super advocates for this game and just really pushing this game, and I think he would be really proud to see where the women's game is at now. One thing I also wanted to address, so they got a rule, Jack, that you got to stay, you can't be, a player has to be 22 years old on the college women basketball side to enter the WNBA. What are your thoughts on that?
You got to be 18 to go in the Army and accidentally step on a landmine and blow yourself up. So why you can't go support your family and play a sport that you love that could change your family's life at 18? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
First team all common sense.
I think it's a little weird. And again, after seeing JuJu as an 18-year-old freshman, knowing that she has to play 4 more years, man, I think she needs to get that movement to change that rule. Imagine being the person that changes the rule on something, which would be dope. So we'll have to pay attention to that. KD got called they called him a bitch, right? I think the other day in Dallas, and he heard him and he walked up on him and they got funny and scary. He said fans don't look at us as humans sometimes. When you get a chance and you let a person know how you feel real quick, then they'll backtrack. We're animals. We're circus acts. We're entertainment instead of real people. Jack, We've always felt like this was an issue. We felt heavy racism in Utah with the We Believe team. Fans feel like because they pay a certain amount, and yes, them tickets are expensive, but they feel like they can say and do what they want. I know you're not an advocate of that, but let me know what your thoughts are with this KD situation.
Yeah, the tickets are expensive, but there's no price you can pay for somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Things can turn real sour with the wrong words being said because you feel a certain way about a team that don't even know you, a fan, but you feel comfortable enough to disrespect somebody that's 10 times bigger than you just because you're a passionate fan. It don't work like that all the time because you might walk into a player that don't tolerate disrespect. Now the fans and the players fight. So I think players don't come out and initially disrespect the fans.
No, not at all.
I hit a shot. I hit a shot at the end of the game and I beat y'all. Yeah, fuck y'all. Let's get out. You know what I'm saying? But like they don't come out initially disrespecting the fans. So it should be mutual, Matt.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think this is something that the NBA really has to look into, man.
Or get your ass whipped.
Yeah, I mean, one of the two, like you said, hopefully it doesn't, but it could escalate. I mean, you called him a bitch. You know what I mean? And the NBA is always so worried about protecting the fans, but like how much do you really protect the product? You know what I mean? Like people say some crazy things, they throw shit, and people say you're just supposed to take it because you're an athlete, you get paid a lot. No, fuck, because you wouldn't take that shit in public, or you wouldn't take that at your job. You're sitting at your desk, you want people calling you a bitch or fuck you or throwing water bottles at you. Like, no, you wouldn't like that either. You know what I mean? So I don't like when people try to, you guys are making all this money, put up with it. Like, nah, motherfucker, act right. You know what I mean?
But what's the next line after somebody say that? Call you a bitch. What's normally the reply? You see a bitch, slap a bitch. That's normally the reply. And what's next after that? Hey, so you can't use that word.
Draymond had a lot to say about Grant Williams. Tough guy act. Jacking the unwritten rule about if you're up, you're not supposed to score. Woo, woo, woo. Did you get a chance to see that Warrior Charlotte situation with Grant Williams?
Yeah, and I get it. But play defense to the game over there if you don't want to score.
That's my whole point.
Just play defense. Stop. Don't let them score. And this is my thing too. Grant, you can't be Draymond Green. Okay, see this is a big difference. Okay, Draymond Green's on a championship team. He's a 4-time champion, defensive player of the year. He got all these accolades on his team. He came in being this guy. Okay, Grant, right now to me, you're holding on to barely being out the league, bro. So the best thing for you to do is don't do because you're really a football player. You're not really a basketball player. You was in ball, like you getting moved around a lot right now because people are seeing you're really not a professional basketball player. It's just my opinion. So don't try to come in and do the tough guy role now because ain't nobody gonna buy it. All right. So just try to find a role on the team. Draymond, right? Try to find a role on the team where you can be a rebounder or a defender and try to take advantage of the years you have left. But being a tough guy does not fit him.
I think Draymond's thing was like, you can't, like, he's like, this is a real nice guy. Like, you can't be running for the president of the league or whatever, the association, and then be the tough guy. Like, those two things don't merge. I mean, I don't disagree that he's on his way out. I think he's a solid role player, but I think he thinks he needs to be something that he doesn't. I think if he just goes out there, I think in Boston, I don't know his personality, I really know him. I met him one time, but in Boston, he was a perfect fit. You know what I mean? Of playing his role, a little bit of toughness, and just really out there helping your team. But now, and this is coming from motherfuckers that got kicked out the game all the time for the shit he's doing, but we're not the same. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between us and him, or him and Draymond. So I think Draymond's right. I think he's talented enough to help a team come out and play his role. He was integral to me in Boston and when he was there. So I agree, man. Just come out and play your game, man. Do your thing and let your work speak for it. So we'll definitely have to see how that goes. The Clippers, new colorway uniform that they changed their logo going into this new arena, Jack, next season. You get a chance to see these, check these out. That red one's kind of hard.
New arena should be new everything.
That's
new
what I
everything.
said. Change the name.
Yeah, new everything.
Get
Fuck
the Donald.
it.
Yeah, get the Donald Sterling curse and energy off your franchise. Especially they got a chance to win it this year too. Man, you think about
change
you
it
win
all.
it, you got a banner, but change the name and get a fresh new start. Because there's just a lot of bad energy that comes with the name. Or
the
that
ghost
word.
of haters. The ghost
Man.
of the hater. Yeah.
So Jack, Wemby's doing some crazy things right now. He did the 5x5. For those that don't know, Jack, break that down real quick.
So 5x5 meaning you're in 5 statistical categories, and you have 5 or more in each category. So say he had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 steals, 5 rebounds,
5 assists,
and 5 categories. Yep, 5 assists, 5 categories.
Mm-hmm. Scary.
And,
right now,
and that's scary. That's scary. He did it. Almost did it twice, Matt.
Yeah, the kid is nice. I mean, everyone wanted to have their. You got to hold judgment. I mean, this kid is special to his body, the way he's built, the flexibility, the way he locks in.
And he got dog in him.
He's reading before bed. He don't fuck with people. He ain't no punk. I mean, 20, 10, and 3 this year. The last player that did that, the big homie, the big Aristotle, Shaq in 2000.
And he got a Louis Vuitton deal.
He's really, was he 18, 19 years old? Like this is going to be the worst version of him. He's going to continue to get better and stronger and more understanding of the game. Kevin Durant's on record saying he'll be the best player in the league one day. We're watching a true unicorn in front of our eyes, and I think it's incredible. But I also think, Jack, and I want you to speak to this, how important him landing in San Antonio was. You know what I mean? Having someone like David Robinson there before and Tim there before, and they knew how to, and although this kid, not saying a lot, this kid may be better than both those guys. And Tim is the greatest power forward of all time. So it's just like to be able to go into a situation with a good organization, with a great coach and a solid foundation. If he could have landed in the wrong hands, and his career could be completely different.
That's the best thing that happened for him was landing with Pop, because Pop know how to build players, not just as far as their body wise and as a basketball player, but their confidence and as a man. Mm-hmm. He gonna teach him a lot of stuff as to be a man that's growing up. But for him, I also think that just the championship, not just Pop, but the championship organization that he's going to. They know the feeling of going in there, coming in as a winner. Even though you haven't won, you go into San Antonio feeling like you're a winner and you're gonna win. And to the other point, I think he would be the best player in the league if he was on the team with 2 other stars right now. We will be calling him the best player in the league because his team will be probably at the top of the East or West, and he'll be having these same stats. So if he was on a better team, we will be saying he probably is the best player in the league right now.
No, Wemby he's tough, he's different, and I'm excited to see his growth. Jack, fan questions. We haven't done these in a while.
Let's get it.
Happy to get this back on track. From YSE Jung, who is the most unexpected personality for an opponent turned teammate? So who did you have like an idea of, and you ended up being cool with him, or not cool with him?
That's a good question, dog. Oh, Mike Dunleavy. We got traded for each other, and we come from 2 different lifestyles. 2 different people, and we got traded for each other. We go to State in Indiana, and we end up being together in Milwaukee. One of the funniest dudes on earth.
Dunleavy cool as shit, ain't he?
One of the funniest dudes. Oh, it's super cool, man. Mm-hmm. Dunleavy is one of the coolest people that I've ever met that I thought I wasn't going to be cool with.
JJ Redick is mine. JJ had that.
He don't count. JJ don't count, dog.
But I didn't fuck with JJ at all. And like he ended up being, and I didn't even know him. It was just preconceived. And motherfuckers probably looked at me the same way. They might have looked at both of us the same way, but I know they looked at me like, I won't fuck with him. And then they get a chance to meet me like, oh, this dude's cool. This is a motherfucker. But JJ was that for me. So JJ and I played together in Orlando, and I didn't know what to expect. JJ was cool as fuck. And then like then we played together again for the Clippers. Like JJ's probably one of my closest basketball friends that I got from the NBA, and I don't got a lot of them, like people that I call real friends. You know how tight them circles are, but I fuck with JJ.
Yeah.
But at first it was just that Duke little narrative. I was like, oh, fuck JJ up. And then he became the homie.
JJ a real one. I love
I
JJ.
fuck with JJ. That's my guy. Go ahead, you're up.
At DMitch2602. What are your feelings about the Cam Newton altercation?
Man. First and foremost, Cam held it down. And the hat.
Cam drugged them folk.
Drug him. They say Cam had been through so much, the worst offensive line, car accidents, like them little motherfuckers didn't stand a chance.
Man, Cam drugged them boys. Hey, shout out to the kid in the white shirt that came in the end, that came to help Cam when they tried to jump on him and they couldn't even get a
So I couldn't tell. So he was swinging on the kids or swinging on Cam? Well, the dude in the white shirt.
All the dudes in the black was fighting Cam. The dude in the white shirt came up and swung on one of the dudes that was swinging on Cam because as you see when they was breaking up, he went back and stood in front of Cam.
Okay.
I mean, he went back and stood. Well, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, see, I didn't know. Like the angle I got, like they put something up when he swung, so I didn't know if he was swinging on Cam or was he swinging on the dudes on Cam. But either way, Cam held his own. The hat was flawless. He was talking big shit. But you remember, I think it was a few years ago where some kids was talking disrespectful to him at a camp that he was hosting. So I don't know if it was Marcellus Wiley or someone else said this is what happens. And forgive me if it wasn't Marcellus, but I know he posted this is what happens when sports media thinks they can disrespect athletes. That like this younger generations feel like they can say anything.
You can't do that. Cam is one of the best that's ever played the game, bro. From what I'm hearing, they say he was trying to break up a fight.
Oh, really?
He was breaking up a fight, and I guess the kid that he was trying to calm down, they got into it, and that's when the team jumped in.
Unfortunate, man. I'm glad no one was really hurt, but very impressed with him just dragging them little boys around.
Yeah, y'all get in the weight room, man. Y'all go get in the weight room.
Well, people don't understand like what this like professional sports strength is like. You know, you have a little bit of an old man strength, but you got to be strong, particularly in the NFL. But motherfuckers in the league are strong too. Like just we train every single day. You know what I mean? So it's just like naturally when we put hands on you or paws on you, it's a little bit different.
And Cam stayed on his feet the whole time. You got to think, Cam was the LeBron of quarterbacks. Six, you know what I'm saying? He's strong,
6'5",
bro.
strong,
And he still work out.
Man. Cut it out. Shout out to Cam, man. Next up, Stephen R. Schultz. Of all coaches you had, who doesn't get the hype they deserve? Who was a good coach you had, Jack, that didn't really necessarily get the love they deserve?
Rest in peace. I don't think Paul Silas get the love he deserved.
Good call.
Paul Silas was a solid coach in Cleveland when he had LeBron his rookie year. He was just a great mind of the game. A lot of guys respected him, and he was one of those people that he talked a lot from experience. He played in the NBA, was a successful player. And, even he was such a great mind that his son ended up being a head coach in the league. So he was just one of those guys that was able to talk life into players. And, he spoke from experience.
I like that. Mine was probably Rick Adelman. I had Rick Adelman with the SAC.
I like Rick.
With the SAC team and just super innovative. Him and Pete Carril and their systems and moving the power forwards out and doing a lot of this passing that the Draymonds and the Sabonis's do now. They were doing that back late 90s, early 2000s. So I definitely think Rick Adelman doesn't get the love that he deserves. Shout out Rick Adelman.
At Eurosuki Doji, who got y'all the highest?
Who got have you smoked out with anyone and just been super duper blowed? I know I got super high with Wiz before. Super high with Wiz. Quick story. We were in Amsterdam, coming down to me. They're not retired yet, so I can't say their name. Me and some of my Clipper teammates just touched down, and the biggest the coffee shop, they call them, I guess, was right there on the corner. So our girls took our bags to the room. We sit down, we start burning, and we hear someone bumping Wiz coming down the water canals because there's a bunch of water canals out there. So we go look outside because it's bumping and it's Wiz, and he happened to stay in our hotel. So we end up linking up with him later and taking dabs for the first time. Similar to what happened with Snoop, super high, super duper high. but I had a good time there. But one time, Jack, high school, the first time I smoked before a game, we cut fourth period. We only had 4 periods a day. We cut fourth, and that's my junior year. Go and we take gravity bombs. So those big, remember the big Alhambra bottles they used to have? We cut the bottom of that bitch, put it in the sink, and bro, the highest I've ever been. So we're in a tournament. Kevin Johnson, former Phoenix Suns, mayor of Sacramento, he had the record of 3 MVPs. So I'd won it my first 2 years. This is my junior year. Needless to say, I dropped like 30-something in the first game. The game I got high, it was like Teen Wolf, bro. I was so high, airball 2 layups. I might have had like 4 points. Like when I was turning, like the world was like turning with me, like shifting, and it was my homeboys were up in the crowd laughing at me the whole time in the very back corner. I see him sitting up there laughing. Needless to say, I played like shit. We still won, and then the next game I had like 50-some, but I didn't get MVP that tournament because of that fucked up game. I got too high.
Well, for me, it's a little different. I was working out trying to get in the NBA, and my homeboys, I was in Houston, they picked me up, and around that time, some of my homeboys were smoking Sherm.
Ooh.
We was on our way home, and they always smoking. And that wasn't my thing, but that day I wanted to try it. So I actually hit the Sherm one time. I just pulled it one time, Matt, and we was on our way to our apartment, and it was the sun was just coming down, but it was a club, where people were all pulling up and the street was fired up. I was so high, I hopped out the car at the red light and ran in front of all the cars in the middle section and started dancing with basketball clothes on, sweat. I'm just dancing. And the whole time I'm dancing, like, man, I feel good. Man, I feel good. And I'm so scared. That Sherm had me a whole different person.
Woo!
And
How old were you?
That's the highest I've ever been. I was probably about 18, 19.
Ooh. Had you off that stick, huh? That's tough.
Yeah.
What kind of dances
were? That shit.
What kind of dances were going on? What was in during that time?
So around that time, I was doing a little. Every little step I take, Bobby Brown little dance with the South Side Kiki, along with the H-Town just little bop. So it was just a mix of everything. I was all over the place.
But you was in your bag though, is all that matters.
I was musty, sweaty, and I looked like a damn dope fiend.
It's a great way to start. Look at you now. Needless to say, you've come a long way. Well, man, that's
a long way.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You guys can catch this on All the Smoke Productions YouTube and the DraftKings Network. Jack, always good to catch up with you. I know we'll be out here in LA in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to toast the Neos with you, my brother.
We'll see y'all soon.